Pain. I understand death. I understand suffering. And because of these people, I'm starting to understand peace. You can't take that away from me.
Welcome, folks. Welcome. Leon Francis, BlackBeardLogic on the Guns in the 701 Network. Happy to be here today on this great Friday. It's been a pretty awesome day overall. I've been a little bit busy. Today I got my good buddy Bob Wheeler. I'm going to bring him on in a bit, and we're just going to chop up a light Friday. If you think a light Friday is, I think the first topic we're going to talk about is the UFC 250th, which was pure patriotic testosterone on steroids. Like, you had the fighter jets overhead, the Marine band blasting, massive production on the South Lawn. Justin Gagey put on a masterclass. It was phenomenal. It was America showing out. It was America showing strength, freedom, excellence, all of that. And it was exactly, in my humble opinion, what the doctor ordered. Meanwhile, new polling shows that American national pride is in a nosedive. But shockingly, or maybe not shockingly, it's only from one side of the aisle. And then we're going to talk a little bit about outgoing ODNI Tulsi Gabbard dropping a bombshell last night on her final day in office. It's the COVID thing. It's the Fauci thing. We're going to dig into that. We're going to dig into Rand Paul. We're going to dig into the whole auto pen thing. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to go across the pond. Like, what the hell is going on in the EU? 250,000 British kids. Horribly, like, it's right out of Oliver Twist. It's worse than that. And Robert Lowe brought the receipts. So we're gonna break all of that down. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to keep it lighthearted. BlackBeardLogic, Guns in the 701, and I forgot what today is. So I think, give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if my good buddy Bob Wheeler remembers what today is. I'm going to bring him on right now. Oh, wow. Dude, you are tiny. Let me see if I can do something about that.
That's a good thing on my end.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's make old Bob Wheeler stand out. There we go. Let's do this. Boom. There you go.
Good evening.
Oh, I can hear you all right. I can see you just fine. Hey, do you know what today is? do you know that K-Fire, I tried to comment on K-Fire's little, I think they had a post about it. And,
they won't let you?
No, they have restricted access to it.
First of all, I will say this. I got the comment on it, and there was some absolute bullshit comments on it. Okay? I will say there was absolute negativity and racism and shit that I didn't even need to see. Just that's the I commented I'd be okay with it, to be honest with you, if it wasn't such a stupid damn name. Okay.
Yeah.
But there was some crap comments on that. So shutting down some idiot's First Amendment right. Juneteenth. What's the point?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep
I
it
guess I
lighthearted,
didn't see the
right?
comment.
But it's,
I guess I didn't see the comment.
They were horrible, dude.
I posted, silly me, I almost forgot what today is. 161 years ago today, on June 19th, 1865, Republican President Abraham Lincoln and a Republican-controlled Congress took decisive action to end slavery. They freed millions from the chains, and defended tooth and nail the right to freedom from the Democrat Party. Then Democrats started the Civil War to preserve slavery. They founded the KKK. They passed the Jim Crow laws. They filibustered the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So if you are celebrating Juneteenth today, don't forget to thank the Republicans who fought to make freedom a reality for all Americans. History matters. Let's remember it accurately.
Those that forget will soon repeat it.
100%. 100%.
It's insane. And I admit, like I said earlier, I was really disappointed. I mean, some of it is stuff that say me and my buddies from the Marine Corps, black and white and green and yellow and whatever else, would probably say to each other back in the day, right? But when some people say that stuff, it's meant the other way. And it's like, guys, just quit. This stuff is dead. Leave it alone. Hug your brother and move on.
Good God. Now I got to get on there and see what I can see. I guess I didn't see any of that.
Dude,
I didn't dig into it either. So
typical watermelon fried chicken comments, things like that. You know, and some of that stuff is just, it really is funny anymore, as long as it's meant the right way, right? If you
100%.
know who you're talking to and your friends and whatever else, I mean, the stuff that we used to say to each other back in the Marine Corps, oh my God, you know.
Yep.
But it's just, even for me, okay, I'm the guy that does free speech all the way, right? I don't care what the word is. But talk about some appropriateness, and let's be human beings and be decent to each other and let this crap go. Happy Juneteenth. Couldn't they come up with a better name? Juneteenth.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of because it was born in ignorance. There's a lot of pandering that went into it. I think our national holidays should be something for everybody to show national pride. And one of the things we're going to talk about is national pride. I think things like Juneteenth is meant to divide. I don't think it has anything to do with bringing the country together. I think that the version of history that
if
a
you
lot
had
of our
a celebration planned on this day that was a national celebration instead of like the whatever month it is, that's Black Pride Month, right? I think that is the biggest joke in the world, because we don't have a white Pride Month, we don't have a Asian Pride Month, we don't have a Mexican Pride. It's stupid. But if you wanted to put a cool holiday together and pick it, even if it is this date, and it should be a nationally celebrated, hey, how about we call it the day America got its shit together? Okay, or go to the Civil Rights Act, and that's the day that America got the shit together, right?
Yep.
And make something really memorable out of it. But like you said, it's a joke. It's pandering. It's something from the left, and I think it's another step to keep black people enslaved.
100%.
And fighting with everybody else. It doesn't make any sense. But like I said, I'm okay with it. Pick a better name, you know.
I don't know. I'm a simple boy, you know. I'm a simple Southern boy. Like I the highlight and disappointment of last week is when I found out Bo Duke was coming to Fargo, because I have, from the Dukes of Hazzard, because I have a die-cast General Lee from when I was 9 years old. I have it today. It's a little beat up, and man, I'm like, oh my god, I was like 200 miles away though, so there's no way I could have met him. I think that would have been awesome.
Where was he going?
Fargo, North Dakota. He was in Fargo, North Dakota.
I
wish I could have met him, man.
Dude, my nephew just graduated this spring. And
Okay.
I didn't get to grow up, or him grow up with around me that much, but I knew him and I know him.
Yep.
He's a gearhead, he's a mechanic, but he is a Dukes of Hazzard fan from day one. His mother bought him the box set as soon as there was a box set on DVD, right?
100%.
And I hunted and the one thing that TikTok is great for is little things that when you least expect it. And they had an amazing, high quality Dukes of Hazzard pocket knife with the General Lee painted on it, the Dukes of Hazzard scene. I made his day. He still swears it's the best gift he could have ever gotten. And he's the hugest fan. If I'd have known about this, man, I'd have drove to Max, picked him up, and drove him there.
Yeah.
That would have been so awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know. Someone texted me and said, "Hey, did you know that Bo Duke is going to be in Fargo today?" I'm like, no, they should have probably advertised that.
Well, John Schneider, he's super conservative.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have him speaking that way too?
Oh, right.
He's one of us. I mean, he's absolutely 100% one of us, patriotic, Republican conservative.
So, Bob, along those lines, what do you think? So I'm gonna do something here. First, I want to play this. This is UFC 250. How does that grab you there, Bob?
Dude, that whole thing is the most patriotic thing I've ever seen in my life. That whole event.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and that's exactly how I felt. And
well, what time did I text you? 9:15, 10 after 9?
Yep. It was pretty late.
And we had both kind of pretty much forgot about it.
Yeah.
We got the date screwed up on our head. And dude, if I'd have known it was going to be, if I'd have remembered, we'd have thrown a party. We'd have thrown a get together. That was the most that was better than any Independence Day celebration I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. And liberals were all wee-weed up about it, though. Like
I be that way.
And so I wanted to play that because I want folks to get a sense of how much Trump loves this country and how patriotic he is and has always been, even when he was a Democrat. The one thing that never changed about him is how much he loves this country.
Mm-hmm.
And now, with folks like me and you, things can be happening in our country that we do not love, but we still love this country. Like,
I'm not leaving this country because something went wrong.
100%. I'll fight for it.
I'm going to stay and defend this thing till literally the death, because I'm not going to die on foreign soil unless I'm in a war.
Yep.
This is my country.
But so this is why I bring this up. This is where national pride is right now, according to this Gallup data. Record low 58% of U.S. adults report being extremely or very proud to be an American in 2025. Now, this is largely driven by a sharp decline among Democrats and independents, while Republicans remain steady. Now, when you break this down, Republicans are like, they started out, I think this goes from 2020 or 2021. This is under Bush. It goes through Obama. It goes Trump 1, Biden, and Trump 2. And the thing that is consistently high, right up there in the 90s, is the fact that Republicans love this country no matter who's in charge. The Democrats fell off a cliff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are down like 29% patriotic, love this country. And things like what we were discussing a second ago about like the Juneteenth and the folks getting black fatigue and this inundation of lesbian black boss chicks that we are just inundated with, and the history that's been taught, like white people bad, that sort of thing. And it also breaks down by demographic. Like the younger you are in that Democrat demographic, the more likely you are to absolutely hate this country. It's unbelievable. Here, I'm going to play Harry Enton here.
Young adults.
Yeah, there has been a major shift over the last decade among young adults in terms of how they feel, their pride in being an American. Because what are we talking about here? Well, let's just take a look. Under age 35, pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. You go back a decade ago under Barack Obama, it was 71% of those under the age of 35 were extremely or very proud to be American. That number has fallen through the floor. Look at this now. That number has fallen in half now. Just 36% of those under the age of 35 are either extremely or very proud to be an American. And this is a number that we've seen across the polling data. There has just been a major shift, a historic shift in the pride that young Americans feel for their country.
Let's break that down by part.
So how does that grab you, Bob? How does what I gave you a little bit of why I think this is. Why do you think?
Well, first of all, the what you played didn't play. What you show me there, and the numbers aren't great. It's insane to me that, and I still believe that it starts in our schools where these kids from kindergarten on up are being inundated with left-wing ideas. They're not getting, well, just saying the pledge probably was one of the number one things that put patriotism into my heart, into my mind. Going to a rodeo with my dad and learning how to put my hand over my heart, knowing that my father was a Vietnam vet, whether I believe nowadays that he should have been there or not, doesn't make any difference. I'm proud of my father, proud of my country, proud of that flag. And I learned that very, very young. So these numbers honestly aren't really that surprising to me. They're just disappointing. There are Democrats that are patriotic and flag waving, and they're not liberal, left-leaning, horribly left-leaning idiots, right? But
Right.
they've got different ideas than you and I do, but they're still patriotic, and we could go out and celebrate Independence Day with them. Or we could have watched UFC, 250 the other night together and had a blast, right?
Yeah.
But the younger generation has been our generation, other than I will say you, exception, homeschooling, Eli, doing what you're going to do, right? There's not been enough of that. And I don't know, I hate to blame it on Gen X, right? Because we're Gen X. But which generation let these kids be inundated too much without teaching them the good stuff at home too? So disappointing, not surprised once again that these numbers are where they're at. You went through Bill Clinton. I was in the Marine Corps at that point in time. I went through Obama, 8 years of absolutely PO'd at the world, right? I went through Biden, PO'd at the world, but I still loved my country. And these kids aren't getting taught that, and they don't believe that we're the greatest nation that's ever existed.
And you know something else? A lot of our elected officials have that same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand why they even you listen to people like Ilhan Omar and Elizabeth Warren and folks like that, and there is a hatred for this country. It's almost like they want to deconstruct it. Here, let's some of this play out. Let me know if you can hear this or if it's playing.
Do you have this over the same period of time among Democrats?
Yeah, okay. So there are two reasons why pride in this country are falling. One is younger Americans. The other is Democrats. Okay, let's take a look here. This is from 2013 to late 2025. A slightly different survey, but if you look at the same survey that I was looking at on the first slide, it's the exact...
It's the frame once in a while, but there's no video or no sound and no... Yeah, it's not playing. I thought maybe it was just me since we're still dealing with my silliness with a cell phone.
Oh no. So I pulled up Facebook and it's playing there.
Good.
So
I don't know why mine wouldn't.
So if we're just looking at this freeze frame, extremely or very proud in 2013, Democrats, 83%. In 2025, it dropped all the way down to 31%.
They base it only on a president?
That's the only thing that I could see. And there's a steady decline because if you go back to this, you can see there's a steady decline. And it doesn't matter, like Obama was in, you know, it's still lower than it was in Bush's term. And you can see the Democrat trend is just in the gutter. And as opposed to the Republicans, they're right up in the 90s all the way across. Slight
Is
dip.
that literally just parents' involvement and inundation from the schools?
It's got to be. I want to play something that Vice President J.D. Vance said on Gutfield. All right, man, I hope this thing.
America 250, Republicans more proud. All right, Mr. VP, we talked about this on the Five briefly. There was this poll ahead of America's birthday that found that 56% of citizens are extremely or very proud to be in America, which is a record low. Shocking nobody, 90% of Republicans were very proud, but only 29% of Democrats, 78% said the American dream is harder to attain. So are you, like I said on the Five, I wasn't surprised because we're inundated with messages about how kind of almost irrelevant patriotism. And what's your take on this?
So I think this is a very, very bad thing. And to make a bipartisan point here, the Republican VP trying to be bipartisan, I was raised by patriotic Union Democrats who maybe wouldn't have agreed with every single policy of a Republican administration, but they recognize that this is the greatest country in the world and every single one of us should be grateful to live here. And
I know you said you couldn't hear it. Basically,
no, I got none of the Gutfeld with J.D. Vance at all.
So basically, Gutfield asked him the same thing I asked you, and what J.D. Vance says is, you know, he was raised by Union Democrats, so like Clintonian Democrats, Union Democrats, and they always, the one thing that always happened was they love this country. The 4th of July rolls around, boom, you know, everybody loves this country. That's not the thing that I see today. Like, you have an American flag on your truck, you got people giving you side eye. You know, it's ridiculous in my humble opinion because we all live here. I want to make this country just chock full of liberty and freedom and love of this country and the great outdoors as I possibly can. And I want my son to, you know, have that same reverence for where we are, who we are as a people, and that whole thing. Because you kind of hit the lottery when you're born here. And it doesn't matter what color you are, you hit the lottery. Like, there's nothing holding you back here except for maybe, you know, your mentality. That's it.
Well, and it even if you're raised a certain way, you can get the facts and change, right? I mean, it's not impossible. Many millions have done it, right? Did Gutfeld and Vice President Vance talk about J.D. Vance being on The View as well?
I think so. I don't know about in this clip, but I know in the show they did.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of it, and you know, that when somebody from The View is saying, hey, you're not too bad of a vice president, they were expecting, I mean, you're pretty good for a Republican. That's going to probably be where that shows up for J.D. Vance, is how he was, who was around him, how he was raised. He is going to have, you know, that Union Democrat, you know, come across. He's going to have a little bit of a Kennedy come across. And that's probably what shows up there. But it's 100% how, you know, but you can get out of that. You can see the facts. You can choose, obviously, with social media, you can investigate. It's the wave of technology in this country, the internet. You can find out the truth. It's out there. And you don't have to just hate the country for some silly reason that you've really been inundated with.
Yeah. I don't know. We're coming up on the 250th anniversary of this country, our independence, that whole thing. And me and my buddy Perry Schumacher on the Due North Political podcast, we were talking about like what the two Americas are going to look like how the Democrats are going to celebrate it versus how the Republicans are going to celebrate it. And like a guy like me, I want big fireworks. You know, I'm gonna have my flag flying. I'm gonna have like I ordered a bunch of 250th anniversary flags to hang out on the property, and I mean, we're just gonna do it up. We're gonna celebrate loving this country, being independent for 250 years. And like I talked to some of my relatives, and they like as happy as we should be. They're like, well, it hasn't been great for us, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's, dude, I own more guns than like some small country. I live way out in the middle of like I had a friend of mine, Devin, come out the other day. When was that? Yesterday, the guy that ran for PSC. He came out yesterday. Just kind of popped in. And I was out there building the chicken coop because I got like 10 of what are they called? Good God, I'm forgetting now. But there are these really big, beautiful, cold, hardy chickens. Nick, what are the name of those chickens? He'll tell me. And they have huge brown eggs, and there's beautiful chickens. And so I'm putting that all together out there. Me and Eli. We're like shooting prairie dogs with the 22. We're, you know, all of that. Devin comes over. We talk for a bit, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you want to go shoot things?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so we go right out there and we start shooting. Like I hung up targets. I kind of made a shooting range back there. Like where else? Where else, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like how could you not love this country, and how can you only focus on like every single culture that makes up the American tapestry can say they had a hard time? They can.
Is there a correlation to any of this that people live in the cities that don't enjoy all the freedoms we do in a rural environment? I don't know.
That's the thing.
You know, it's I grew up in the middle of absolute nowhere, 32 miles from town, at a natural gas compressor station. Right, I could shoot 360 as long as I was at the right distance, had the right background. Usually there was hills in the way of anything that I couldn't shoot, you know, type thing. The freedom too, as you know, raising kids out there like my parents did. If we were running around half dressed probably most time, making mud puddles, and you know, we really did have the freedom to do that and get dirty, and for the most part, we'd had immune systems when we were young. You know, and I guess if you're trying to do that in the city, it's not going to go very well. We enjoyed freedoms, we appreciated our freedoms, and then that may be part of it. And just like your son is enjoying the life that every boy should, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I learned to drive on gravel roads, right? I didn't have to go through a parking lot with mom and dad and do this and do that. I was driving to the bus stop at like 12 and 13 years old. It was 3 miles away. Excuse me. And there was a firearm in that car from the time I was 12 on, because it was hunting season once in a while. So I might have had to skip school at 12, because there was a big antelope over the hill on my neighbor's land that I had permission on or something. That's freedom. And I guess I grew to appreciate it. And maybe if you're in the city and it's not the same, I don't know.
Yeah, I said on a podcast some time ago that concrete and steel has a delirium effect on you. Like it just has your mood goes down. And I used to think, it's pretty cool. You live that kind of urban life. You go down to the Starbucks and that sort of thing. None of that appeals to me. Like absolutely none of it does. Like I could care less if I ever have a Starbucks latte. I don't. I drink my coffee as black as ice.
Yeah, the closest fast food joint was 120 miles away from where I grew up, dude.
Yeah. As long as I
don't want that.
If I live close enough to a small town and they have like a Sonics, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good to go. That's all I want.
Over to that town called Lisbon, and they've got something called Ice Cream You Scream. I'm plumb content.
Oh, that's awesome. I know right on Main Street. Yeah, I know exactly where that is. Right across the street from the theater.
Absolutely great cheeseburger, chicken meals. I don't need it to have some national name on it, and I'm getting better food.
Yep, 100%. And again, I think that urban setting, and that's where they're trying to push everybody into those urban centers, and you'll notice that those urban centers are almost 100% liberal. They're 100% dependent, except for the people that are making the money. Like the regular folks there, like this election cycle, you kind of see that. The city of Fargo is $1.7 billion in the hole because it's being run by liberals. And so what do? They double down on stupid and they elect another liberal. And the conservative, and he's not even like Tony Garrick is more libertarian than like Republican or conservative, but fiscal conservatism, that's his thing. They didn't want that. Like it blew my mind how, and then you got like Michelle Turnberg, and nope, they don't want that. It just, you're $1.7 billion in the hole. Why not try something new?
Money grows on trees for these people. They don't have any trees, so they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're in town. This just doesn't. But we're trying to trying to keep everything light, right? And it's not always the easiest thing to do. But when you talk about the cities, all rural environment, we're all being herded to the city day after day, week after week, year after year. They want you in the city so they can control you in the city. They got more rules you're going to follow. There's a lot of rules that we won't follow out here in a rural environment that in town you have to follow. You don't have the freedom. They don't want us. Well, okay, you just talked about chickens. Now, so many of these small communities, and I mean smaller communities, are trying to keep people from raising chickens. The big cities are definitely trying to keep you from having backyard chickens. Now, I can understand maybe not having backyard roosters all the time, but still, they want to keep you from being able to raise your own food. And that's what it is. And you got a bunch of Karens that are going to complain about the noise. You don't have to worry about the smell living in the city with backyard chickens. Big deal. They keep your yard clean of bugs. What is wrong with it? And that's just another tool to keep you dependent on city life, a grocery store with all these little tiny eggs that taste really, really bad. In my former life, I had farm fresh eggs for 15 years. I could care less if I eat an egg right now if I can't get them farm fresh. They're horrible. But yeah, that's just that city. And I hadn't heard that there's an actual study on it. I'm sure there is about the concrete and the power lines and the buildings. And I'd go crazy. You would have to lock me up in a short period of time. I've tried it. Memphis, Tennessee. I tried it. Well, mostly Memphis, Tennessee, and the Marine Corps. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I go crazy. I'm looking over my shoulder, talk about neck on a head on a swivel. You know, I'm constantly, when I go to town, man, I just can't relax.
That's me right there.
Yeah. You know, my back is never to a door. I'm watching every side street, watching every red light. You know, I don't like to judge people on what they drive, but I damn sure do when I'm in town.
Oh, 100%.
Type of thing. And I'm watching for some idiot wearing a heavy coat at 90-degree weather walking in a store, you know. I can't live that way. And I feel like I would, if I was living that way, I would probably lean towards a Democrat over a lot of those things. You know, you're wanting somebody to spend money on making your environment better because you don't have the ability to make your environment better in town. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, but if it gets progressively, if it gets progressively worse, like one of the things I saw growing up is Democrats would come around every election cycle and they'd be shaking their tin cup, and all of the folks in my community, the black folks, would be like, "Yeah, we got to get this guy or this gal voted in," you know, blah blah blah. This is nothing ever got better.
No, it gets worse.
Absolutely none of the promises, none of them. And then I see things like one of the things that rubbed me the wrong way about Juneteenth is like nothing in Black lives or Black culture got any better with the advent of Juneteenth. Like, what? I had a argument with one of my sisters. Not going to say the name. I'm not even going to dig into the details, but she basically asked me, like, what's wrong with me? Like, you know, how the hell can you be how you are, based sort of thing. Yeah. And I told her, basically, look at your son, because at one point her son wanted to come here so I could teach him how to hunt and fish and shoot and all of that good stuff. And I was ecstatic. And then we had that set up, and then nothing happened. And so I told her, you know, you understand. I don't understand. Like, we had conversations about this kid being in, like, where he's growing up, folks teasing him about acting white because he's a reader. This kid is a lot like me. And, you know, he's getting bullied, and, you know, he doesn't want to go to school, and, you know, that whole thing. What he wants to do, like, he sees things that me and Eli do, and that's the thing that he wants to do.
And
you
how
know?
old is it?
So I don't get it.
How old is your nephew?
Oh, I'm getting a lot of feedback. What is going on here? I think I'm going to go to a quick commercial and try to fix what's going on here on my end. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just got the static coming through somehow.
What is going on?
Feels like it's on my end.
Hey, it's Leon Francis from BlackBeardLogic on the Guns in the 701 Network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro-Second Amendment, America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro-Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns in the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro-Second Amendment, pro-North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
I am Leon Francis, and this is BlackBeardLogic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
I got nothing, brother. Can you hear me, Leon? I can't hear a thing over here. Would you like me to get out and dial back in? Give me just a moment. Leave.
Young adults.
Yeah, there has been a major
For the same period of time among Democrats?
Yeah, okay. So there are two reasons why pride in this country are falling. One is younger Americans. The other is Democrats. Okay, let's take a look here. This is from 2013 to late 2025, a slightly different survey, but if you look at the same survey that I was looking at on the first slide, it's the exact same story. Democrats' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2013, it was 83% under Barack Obama. Look at this number now. Just 31% of Democrats say they are extremely or very proud to be an American. That is the lowest number on record. When you combine both youth and being a Democrat, that number falls into the 20s, falls into the 20. Young Democrats, Generation Z Democrats, less than 30% of them are either extremely or very proud to be an American. So what we're seeing here is both age as well as partisanship playing a major role in the fact that pride and the proudness to be an American, either extremely or very proud, is at record lows.
Yeah, and the motivations, just look at the time period for Democrats, that is in line with how politics have changed. How about Republicans?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because you mentioned, right, and I had mentioned that Barack Obama was president in the mid-2010s, and now Donald Trump a Republican, Democrats to Republican being president. But what about Republicans? Their numbers have actually stayed pretty steady. So let's take a look at this exact same poll. Republicans' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2013, it was 92%. By late 2025, pretty close, right? 80%, maybe a slight fall in this PRI survey. But I will note in the Gallup poll, which measures over a similar period, there was no change. There was no change. So what we're seeing is we see younger people and Democrats really shifting away, shifting downward in their proudness to be an American, while Republicans have stayed pretty steady despite the partisanship of the president's changing, but Democrats very much shifting away as the partisanship of the president saying Donald Trump has really sort of changed the equation for young Americans and Democratic Americans, or those who identify as Democrats, while he really hasn't changed the equation when it comes to Republicans whose pride levels have actually remained.
I got nothing, brother. Can't hear a thing.
got you 50 Republicans.
Greg, it doesn't bother me when congressional Democrats disagree with our policies. It bothers me like that they're just terrible people, so many of them. But what really does bother me is that they don't show gratitude for the United States of America. Disagree with our policies, but if you don't feel grateful to live here and for the people who made it possible, then what are you even doing being in public service?
Yeah.
Too many Democrats don't show appreciation for the country.
Connors, I guess what I'm reacting to is the way a large group of Americans will smirk. Like whenever, like if you, like they'll smirk at American flags and pickup trucks. So smirk when people. That's what I like. It's like, where does that?
And everyone loves her. Tell her.
Oh. but that's people don't want to leave the country and go to another country.
Longer, they have wisdom, they know how things work. What say you?
Maybe, I don't know, but I noticed that low-key, everyone kind of does celebrate the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I do think it is just a thing, like Tyler says, a lot of people say, maybe to try to sound cool or something like that, like, oh yeah, like America, but it's okay. You can have things you might want to change about a country, but as you pointed out, these people don't want to leave the country and go to another country because this is the greatest country to live in on the planet, obviously and easily, right? And I don't know why that should be such a hard or embarrassing things to say. I don't quite get that. We also have so much more in common than we do different, and I think that we really should. We got to a place where there's so much money and whatever.
As mayors in places like New York.
All the independent films, the serious intellectual films, you know, it's always like an American corporation.
Testing. Testing. Test. Testing. Testing. You guys, yeah, I can't. My apologies, folks. I'm restarting my whole system. That's slow. Okay, guys. I restarted my system. I had a chat with my IT guy, who is me, and I'm hoping that everybody can hear me now and that we're all good. I'm going to see if I can bring Bob Wheeler back. Let me know if you can hear me.
Man, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
What the heck's going on, brother?
I had to restart my entire system.
So it was maybe on you and not me?
It looks like it.
Because
So,
I honestly, I'm trying to get my computer up. But that one there would only let me sign in and do something. It wouldn't let me join yours.
Well, that's crazy. Next time I have you on, we're going to have that all sorted out. One thing I did, I can hear you, Gordy says. Nice. Thank you.
Well, let me get set a little bit back up here.
I'm going to just roll through this. Basically, Republicans love this country. Democrats hate it for some odd reason. It kind of makes sense with me with the indoctrinations of the public school system. One of the things that we do here, we homeschool. So my older kids, I have 3 older kids. I always knew about public schools and the product that they were turning out. And so when my kids started school, after they went a couple of years in public school, and I saw a market decline in my children, I pulled them out and I put them all through private school, Shanley and Oak Grove, because like if the parents at home are teaching one thing and then your kids come and they're like, hey, did you know that we did X, Y, and Z? And what we do here, I teach Eli history, but I teach them the correct history, and it's not washed in any way. So he gets everything. Does he know about slavery? Yes, but he also knows that the folks that sold people that looked like me to people of all races.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole slave trade was not just horrible American white folks. No, much more. There's a lot more nuance than that, and they need to know that. They need to know like about the Barbary pirates and like why this country was founded, why we have a navy, who set that up, who was that set up to fight. How long has this thing with the Muslims been running? It's been running a minute. You know, just and that's just a tiny microcosm. But I also want him to understand that we absolutely hit the lottery by being born here. And even our ancestors being brought here, that is a blessing in disguise. And what we do not do is dwell on the past, because we have their dreams and their aspirations and their blood and sweat equity that they poured into this country. We have their dreams to live out, to realize. And they didn't complain. They were nose to the grindstone. Let's get it. Oh, these people won't let us do X, Y, and Z. We'll build our own. Oh, they don't want us to do this, that, and the other thing. Well, we'll do our own thing over here. That's liberty. That's freedom. People don't have to like you. They don't. And Eli knows this. He could recite what I'm telling you right now, word for word. People don't have to like you. It's not your job to make them like you. Your job is to be the best you, the best image bearer of God that you can possibly be. And by those actions, people will see the fruit. And the thing they're going to love is the fruit. That's what it is. You put that Imago Dei out front and center. You respect everybody else's Imago Dei. And we get along swimmingly, man. Swimmingly. Mm-hmm. And then you don't have all that hanging on your head, like them teaching the DEI and all of that garbage. You don't have little black kids, hating little white kids. Like, it's a content of character, true to form. when you divest from the DEI mindset, and then you how would I say it? You diversify into the whole, conservatism, patriotism, liberal, and not liberal in the like, I don't know, not liberal like the liberal mindset, but liberty minded, like old school.
Americanism.
Americanism, the thing that built this country.
It's America. You can be left wing and you can be right wing Americans.
Yep.
And this country has never ever been perfect. It will never ever be perfect. We're trying to learn from all of our mistakes. Take slavery, but it wasn't a mistake back then. It's the way things were done. Okay, it was from the time of Jesus Christ and before. There's always been slaves. There still is slaves. We just don't look the same as slavery used to look. But we're a slave to the taxes. I mean, we're a slave to property tax. I mean, it's a transition. It's learning from our mistakes and moving forward. As far as I know, we've gone back quite a ways. My family's never owned another person, right?
Yep.
But and I don't know how far you've gone back with your genealogy, okay? But I can't look at you for something from what your grandfather, great grandfather, whatever did. And I hope you don't look at me for something that they might have done. We just have to keep moving forward. And I don't like using the word progressive, because that's a dirty word, like liberalism and all that stuff.
Yep.
But dude, we're supposed to be. I'm not worried about what happened in 1964, other than I don't want it to happen again.
Yep. And I think a lot of folks are pushing for that to happen, though. That's the scary thing.
Well, there is, and they're trying. We are not divided by race and color in this country unless you let the media and the politicians divide us. We're not.
100%.
Absolutely not. And social media has done some very good things for race. Okay. TikTok has helped me a lot see some of the other world again. And I've got a lot more black friends on TikTok than I ever have on Facebook. And if we're going to talk about this a little bit, look at your skin color. Oh, we lost it again.
Nope.
There we go. Your skin color, my skin color. Two of the most influential conservatives, as far as I'm concerned, in the state of North Dakota are two of my best friends. Both of them are black. Michael Coachman, Leon Francis. Now, that's not.
Hey. 1 second. Michael Coachman had an announcement the other day. You want to tell everybody what that was?
Michael Coachman is running for the Secretary of State's office.
Nice.
Okay. Coach is one of my best friends, and he knows that I was sick and tired of his attempts to run for governor, because I didn't think it was where we needed him, because the people, everything was just stacking up against him and beating his head up against a brick wall, right?
Yep.
And he mentioned that to us live on the air, 1470 KHND the other day with Rick Jensen, our David Adams, Michael Coachman, and myself in the studio.
Yep.
I was like a little schoolgirl, brother. Secretary of State, if you want someone to help fix this state from one of the best offices he can do that from, please remember to sign the petition and support Michael Coachman in November for Secretary of State. Coach, that's the biggest and greatest job I can do for you as a political advertisement.
That's pretty awesome. I cannot wait to start rolling out pro-coach media content. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great, man.
He's so intelligent, and he understands our Constitution, both national and state, better than just about anybody I know.
Yeah.
Okay, he was not born here, just like you weren't born here. Heck, I was born here. But he has become a North Dakotan over 20-some years ago. He lives and loves his state. He refuses to quit. I just kept thinking, geez, Coach, let's do something different. And the last time he ran for governor, I didn't support him very well. I voted for him, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't go out in politics for him because I felt like I was wasting my time. I'll tell you what, I'll tell everybody in the world right now, Michael Coachman's the man for this job. And I love how he's doing it.
I'll tell you this, there ain't no quitting him. There ain't no quit in that dude, and I love it. Like when you, like in the South, we say "Let's get it." That's like his driving motto. That's like his daily. Let's get it. Let's get after it. So I'm stoked about that. But you were saying, like, there is a different mindset between guys like Coach, guys like you, guys like me, guys like Dan and his family, folks that like. If you guys saw the video that I made from Dan Jr.'s wedding, I love that. I so love that because everybody there is a Christian, and they're not a closet Christian. They're like just right there, right there, and those young people getting married. Like Dan homeschooled all of his kids, all of them, and he's got like 126 and a half kids, and they're all friggin' phenomenal.
Well, it's important to interject. Dan is one of our representatives. I'm proud to have him for District 24 as one of my members of the House. You got to put that in there.
Oh yeah, and the kids that he's raising, they're going off, they're getting married, they're starting families young, and they're gonna emulate that. And the love of country for those guys, like me and Dan have had conversations where tears were dropped because we saw like the trajectory of this country and the fact that we didn't want to leave our kids a country that was broken and that sort of thing. And those are the kind of conversations that I have with folks like him, folks like Coach, folks like you. Like when I have conversations, like I mentioned my sister earlier, I have conversations with her. I try to anyway. It's never that. Like it's never, I put on my Uncle Sam hat or something, and she looks at me like I'm a turncoat. And the only thing that I want from her or from my culture in general is for them to love this thing the way I love it and take advantage. Like, do you understand the advantages we have here? While we're belly aching and we're, you're not taking advantage of what's right in front of you.
You're dwelling on what didn't happen to them.
The reason I'm so happy, the reason that I'm so patriotic, the reason like you see my videos and me and Eli are just having a kick-ass time is because I realize how lucky I am, how blessed I am to be in. Like my wife could have looked at me like 100 years ago when I sidled up next to her and was like, "Hey, sweet thing, what's going on?" She could have just looked at me and went, "Get away." She probably should have, but something in that encounter was divinely inspired. And I believe that about this country. This country was founded, in my humble opinion, on divine providence. And going forward as a Christian, as a guy that realizes how blessed he is, as a guy that realizes how blessed his children are being born here and being Christians and being conservatives and all of that stuff, and how they're not ever going to be depressed about like their skin color and all of this other. They're going to be happy, and that's what I want. And again, you look at the demographic breakdown. It's the young and the Democrats that are not happy and do not have American pride.
So, kind of like I was saying with social media, and the state of North Dakota, there's not a lot of folks that are black that live in the state of North Dakota. And there's definitely not a lot of conservative black folks, right? So if the liberals and the racists want to use that against me, that I'm saying I got two friends that are black and that's my excuse that I'm not a racist, they can shove it, right? Okay, so I'm pretty blessed to have the only two black people I know in this state are conservatives, and they're two of the best friends I got. Now, going to social media and TikTok, I have found a black community of patriots, of conservatives, and we connected. We're not having a lot of conversations, but just by their patriotism, the things they put on social media, they're just like you and I. There's this one lady who's absolutely, I mean, remember, guys and gals, I'm single. She's absolutely gorgeous, and her favorite music and favorite musician is Waylon Jennings. I want her to move to North Dakota. Okay, and this is a very beautiful chocolate-colored lady. Okay, but to find that patriotism and that, you know, that's there. But also on the reverse of that, there was some clown the other night. Now I stirred the pot. I don't care. The Carmelo Anthony stuff.
Yeah.
All right. The images came out. The people were using AI to show themselves urinating on Mr. Austin Metcalf's grave. All right. That pissed me off to no end. I know it's AI. I don't care. They did it on purpose. It was coming from their own pages. All right. So I shared it. And it got ugly, and I'm like, it's not worth it, and I deleted it. And 2 minutes later, I put the thing back on, and I let her rip with what I had said in there. And the fight got ugly. I don't know where these people come from. I don't know how they got hold of my post. Facebook's doing its thing. And there was a black man on there who was the opposite of what we believe, right? Yeah. And he started coming at me and coming at me and coming at me. And everything that I said was racist and wrong, and Trump's bad, and TD, you know, he's got TDS. And finally, I dug deep for this, and I wasn't sure if I was going to post it, but I let him have it. And I just said, you know what? You are so lucky you don't even know it. You complain and complain and complain. You're saying about slavery. You're talking about, I said, if it wasn't for slavery, dude, you wouldn't be here. Is slavery good? No. Was it good? No. It was the sign of the times. That's what they did. But I said, if it wasn't for slavery, you would not be here. You would be in Africa, possibly running around with a spear in your hand and a stick in your hand, okay?
Jeez.
Looking out for lions, herding cattle. Holy crap.
Ooh.
But, dude, it's the truth.
It is.
Okay, I don't know if he'd be in South Africa. I don't know where he'd have been, right? I don't know his history. But it's the truth. He may not have had an opportunity to even have a full set of clothes and speak English and go to school.
We don't realize
that. Go ahead and go back. I don't care. But you must not want that very bad if you're sitting on the internet arguing with this white boy.
Yeah.
I think racism would be dead, honestly, even more so if it wasn't for Obama.
Yep.
When that came in, he stirred the pot worse, and I'd like to go back to that because I just don't judge anybody on the color of their skin. I judge them on who they are and how they are and what they are. And I'd love to see everybody and anybody on Independence Day, it happens to fall on the 4th of July every year, at a great big bonfire with a whole bunch of fireworks and some adult beverages, kids running around playing and raising hell, and sparklers going off, and hell, let's get some of them good old shoot at each other fireworks. I don't care.
Yep.
Okay. You go out and you celebrate the United States of America for what it actually is, and not for what you think it used to be or what it did used to be. And I don't care if you're a damn Democrat, Independent, Republican. You could be a communist if you 100%, which most liberals and Democrats are, but if you 100% still believe in this country, just realistically believe it should be something different, but you'll celebrate it. You'll leave my flag alone. You try to burn it, step on it, stand on it, you're in trouble, okay? If you want to do that and come out and celebrate with me, you can come with me anywhere. I'll drive you there. I'll bring you home. I'll make sure you get there and back safely. All we got to do is celebrate this country.
Oh, heck yeah. Like, I love every bit of that, man. And Dan says, hell yeah, Bob. I agree. And that's me in a nutshell. I love this country. I love North Dakota. Absolutely. And I want people to realize how free they are. And you'll never do that if your mind is captured by this garbage. You'll never realize how much you have, how blessed you are, if you're always like just down on this country. If you believe that somebody else is holding you down and there's nothing you can do about it, no,
there's not much we can do to help them anymore, because we can show them what it's like.
But Bob, this is the thing, and I see I don't know if you guys know who King Randall is. He's a black guy. I think he's out of Chicago. He's taken all these troubled black boys, and he's teaching them things like how to change the oil in the. And these are young kids. How to change the oil in the car. How to help your mom with groceries, where the cutlery belongs when you're sitting down at a fancy dinner. He teaches them boxing. He teaches them all of the things that, because they don't have father figures in their lives, they'll never be able to do. Now, picture these kids in the inner city, and they got nothing to do but hang out on the corner. That's it. And like what you and I are talking about, my sister, and this is the thing that just drives me nuts. I wish for once I can get all of my family members to just come here and stay a week. Just come and stay a week.
Well, your brother came up and spent a few days with you. Was there much of a change in his attitude?
100%.
Was there?
100%.
Okay.
Like he is planning on, like he's got things to take care of down there. He's planning on coming up here. I probably shouldn't have said that. Let's edit that out.
Does things happen? They don't always work out. But I get that. But it's interesting because you talked about them not agreeing necessarily with what you believe and things like that, and then he's willing to make that transition when he can. And I know we can't have everybody living in the country because it wouldn't be country anymore. We can't have everybody living in North Dakota because it's not going to be North Dakota anymore.
Yep.
But if you can say what that gentleman's doing in Chicago, I would absolutely love to do that, even if it's just a whistle stop where you get somebody that brings these kids out, whether you and I, this Dan, you and I, JD, show some kids how to fish. Show some kids some gun safety. Show them how to start a fire. Maybe not a good idea for some of them. That might be bad in the city, but and show. I think that's the greatest thing in the world. And when these kids at a younger age get a taste of that, you don't have to say a damn thing about politics. Not one little political thing in there. Just show them this is what life can be like, and this is how and why we have this opportunity, and that's all you'd have to do. And it would be so amazing to be able to do that for people.
Like a guy like me, again, black guy from the South. One of the most
You're black?
awesome. Yep, I am. One of the most awesome things that I've ever had the pleasure of introducing into my life is like the rodeo. Like I absolutely love it, dude. I look at those dudes. And I know I could probably never do any of that stuff, but just the patriotism, the Christian ethos, the masculinity and the femininity, because those cowgirls, oh my God, they like the entire thing. I take Eli out. He absolutely loves them. Like there's nothing better. And again, we go back to King Randall. And you guys, please go and check that dude out. I don't have a dog in that fight. He's not paying me. And as a matter of fact, I donated to that dude several times. But I thought it was blackface. But you show people that the world isn't this like contentious. Like I never felt weird at a rodeo ever. Like Eli has never, like when we go there, all the other little dudes that are around his age, he just takes off with them. They're doing their thing. They're watching the bull riding. They're watching the rope, and they're watching all of that stuff. I would have never, if I still lived in Louisiana or Indianapolis in the ghetto, I'd never even have a chance to. But you got to broaden your horizon. You got to think for yourself, and that's one thing that Candace Owens was great at pointing that out. Like Candace Owens said exactly what you said to the guy, online. She was like, "Where would you want to be, in Africa?" I mean, think about that. If we didn't have slavery, you'd be in Africa right now. Mm-hmm. How does that look?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's okay, I guess. Well, it's not okay for a black conservative to say it because she got just lambasted by the cancel culture for saying that way back when. And I'm not talking about. We're not talking about the Israel stuff or anything like that. Because to me, Candace Owens is more. She is a much more complex thought leader than Israel. And two things should be, I can agree with more than one aspect or none of those aspects of a person's ideology and still see the gem that is the kernel of that. I can still do that. I do that all the time, like with Tucker Carlson, with Bill O'Reilly, with it. Like,
you're still talking to me. You do it with me.
100%. And that's what I think. That's what makes life worth living. Like, even if we don't agree 100% on 100% of things, life is worth living to have these discussions, to have them candid. The last thing I ever want to do is be speaking to one of my friends and they couch their words because they don't know how it's gonna. They don't know if it's racist or not. They don't know.
Here's a perfect example. I cannot stand Candace Owens anymore. Yep. Because of how she did things. I will not listen to Tucker Carlson, good or bad, because the way they did things just really turned me off completely. And now Sean Ryan is really it had been investigating more and more on what he's been saying. And I'm really disappointed in where Sean's at. And I really love the guy, in a lot of ways, but I just saw him and Candace Owens together. I'm having a problem with that. I'm not quite as good at that as you. There's certain issues that will make me turn away really, really fast. And when I'm seeing the TDS induced attitudes, and I do believe that in my mind, Candace Owens got TDS, Tucker's got TDS, and Sean is probably getting some TDS. So I might come back to him, but it's going to take a little more work than what's happening.
It depends on, like, I'm a huge Sean Ryan fan, but it depends on the guests that he has on. Like, if he has ex-Navy SEAL, whoever on, I'm listening to that.
Sniper, the dude, or not sniper, the guy that said something that I've always believed in. 22 was the greatest weapon he ever had.
Yep.
Slip around and go back and shoot somebody in the back of the head to sneak back up, get with the platoon. Sean Ryan's got some of the best content in the world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But certain guests, so I subscribe. Same thing with Joe Rogan. There's certain people that he has on. I'm going to listen to, but then there's certain people that he has on that I'm just not doing it. And I
will watch that Colbert if he's got the right actor or the right person on there.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Colbert.
And I don't watch it for him, but the other day he had an interview that I'd seen from the past with, say, Tom Selleck, one of my heroes as far as actors. I really like the guy. He's conservative. I watched it.
Yeah.
When Joe Rogan has some left-wing fruitcake nut job on, I don't watch it. Oh. And there again, I have the freedom to do that in this great country.
Yeah. See, if we were in England, you don't have those choices. Like, I want the choice whether or not I'm going to be offended by something. I want the I don't want somebody else making it for me, and then I never even see the content. I do not want to live in a world. In England, you say the wrong thing online, you'll have a cop knock on your door.
They're arresting them, and they threatened to arrest, if the internet was correct, they actually said they wanted to come and arrest Americans for something they said online. Now, I saw that. A lot of hoopla, but that's the
I saw that.
We are truly blessed, and we are still free. I mean, granted, there's a lot of that bad stuff, right? And we're not as free as we'd like to be, and we've let some things slip, right? But right now we're bitching and moaning about some of the bad stuff on a privately owned, but we're saying what we want to say about who we want to say it right now. Like one of my new heroes did on the 250th UFC.
Yeah, when you sent me that, I was
comment.
Yeah.
He said what he wanted to say. In England, he'd have been in jail right now.
100%. Well, people right here wanted him, like, how dare he? He should have been taken out. And I'm like, no. Again, freedom of speech means stuff that I don't like, stuff that may offend me, stuff that like makes me absolutely livid. Because if you don't have the freedom to say that to me, we don't have a First Amendment. We don't have any of that.
He was not in a theater yelling fire or gun. He was out in a big deal yelling what he felt and what he wanted to say. Good for him.
Yep.
It was hilarious. Timing was good. Whether you believe it or not, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter.
And the memes that came after that were phenomenal. Hey guys, I'm going to take another break, and when we come back, because there are two stories that I really want to touch on. Tulsi Gabbard and that whole COVID thing.
Truth bombs.
And then I also want to talk about what's going on over there in the UK. Like, it is
insanity,
dude. If you and I have Robert Lowe, a clip from him. I also have a clip from Matt Walsh. It's brutal, dude. It's brutal. And I don't understand. And again, I might get in trouble for this. I don't understand how all these white guys can sit around and allow, like, I mean, obviously you have some patriots over there. Like, what's the guy? I'm drawing a blank, and he put together like basically 1 million man march because of the folks that they are importing into that country. Same as we do here. They don't. I would just say this: their worldview does not match with the EU ethos, with the natives of that country at all. They don't see them the same. They don't see their children the same. They see them as inferior. Like, how the hell can you come to someone else's country, see them as inferior, and then abuse them? And you're under cover of the elites that run that country.
The most dangerous thing to this world right now is a friggin' Muslim.
Yep.
Like me or not, hate me or not, cancel me all you want. Their religion, their cult is not compatible with the free world in any way, shape, or form. And if you, I have said it before, I'll say it again. Kick them all out of here. Kick them all out of the UK. If you don't want to go peacefully, I got another way to send your ass home. I don't care anymore. That is the biggest threat.
This is something else that really gets my grits, man. Like, how is this? Okay, over here in America, I'll stick here. How is this allowed? How is this allowed?
In front of you and I. They're not doing it. We're not having to deal with it on a daily basis, right? And in person. But I tell you what, it'd be a different story if they were two real men and women, real Americans that care about this country. We aren't going to put up with it, but our politicians expect them to do it and encourage them to do it, and don't do a damn thing about the bad.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to a commercial. We're going to talk about Tulsi, and then we're going to hit this EU thing. I hope you guys got the stomach for it, because it's not good. We'll be right back. Leon Francis, Big Dog Bob Wheeler, Guns in the 701. This is Blackbeard Logic.
Okay, let's go.
I am Leon Francis of Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Visit HortonLasercraft.com today and start crafting your perfect gift. For more info, email them at HortonLasercraft@yahoo.com or call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
T-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, can cop my stilo, head to the top, bottom line is a motto.
Welcome back. It's Leon Francis with BlackBeardLogic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it. Let's get it indeed. I'm back with Big Dog Bob Wheeler, and I am Leon Francis. I am BlackBeardLogic. I guess one of these guys said he thought it was blackface. So it's not blackface logic. It's BlackBeard Logic. Get it straight. So one of the things that surprised me, and this was late last night, I was shocked that I hadn't heard anything about this. As a matter of fact, by the time I saw the post, it already had like 60,000, like it had already gone viral, but there was like very little media attention to it. So this is Tulsi Gabbard. She is ODNI. Her husband has cancer, and so she's stepping away. This isn't like a Blondie thing. She's actually stepping away, but she is just dropping bombs. And this is one of the bombs that she dropped right here.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when, under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines.
Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I already knew all of this. I've been talking about my first Facebook strike was talking about this. So I've known this, and I told Nick, and I've had this discussion with her multiple times. I remember right when all this garbage started with COVID, and I remember a Chinese general coming out and saying, "This was not our thing. This was America," and they murdered that dude. You never heard another word from that dude because they murdered him. The thing in Ukraine, we have, from what I can understand, between 6 and as many as 24 Wuhan-like labs in Ukraine, which is one of the reasons why Russia was trying to get to those things before the Ukrainians did. And at one point, we all knew how corrupt the Ukraine was. We all knew it. But I digress. I'm going back to Fauci. Now, what she's and this clip is about 5 minutes long. But this dude funded. He's tried to do it here in America. Obama, to his credit, said absolutely not. Banned that type of gain of function technology because it's horrible. What you're basically doing is you're making a virus that that's not transmissible to humans, and you are making it take the jump from an animal to a human. Like, it's got DARPA written all over it, in my humble opinion. And then this dude lied about that. And not only did he lie about his gain of function research, he lied about where the virus came from. And again, Tulsi says, lab leak. I don't believe it was that. I believe they needed this to beat Trump. Is what I believe happened here. But I'm going to let it play, and then we're going to discuss it for a bit.
Worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
And see, this is why when people are, good God, I'm getting an echo. So this is why when people are so hard on Trump during that period of time, you got to give him grace because he's working on bad information. And to be clear, Tulsi is not a rah-rah Republican. She's not a MAGA Republican. Well, she wasn't. I don't believe she still is. She's a Democrat. But she divorced herself from the Democrat Party, I don't know, back during the Biden administration when she saw how evil and all the evil things. So she's like an independent now. First time I heard her in a long form interview was I think Joe Rogan, and then Sean Ryan had her on, but everything that she's saying here should be punishable. Like this thing right here. This is where I'm at, right here. I'm past the point of wanting that dude in prison.
Way past. I've never liked him, never trusted him. Looks like a rat.
Yeah.
He's evil. If you want to go to Hollywood versions of an evil scientist, things like that, that dude fits it to a T. Money is all that he worships, and he should not.
He was the highest paid politician. He was paid more than the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's saying something.
Well, he's been there forever.
Has a lot of power.
You wonder what information he's got on who, right, to stay there. But he's evil. This was the greatest, in a bad way, thing ever perpetrated on the American people. This was
on the world.
On the world, yes. They intentionally did this to kill millions and millions of people. Okay. Like it or not, coronavirus, the shots are still killing people.
Yep.
I believe coronavirus itself is still killing people.
Yep.
Okay, long COVID, things like that. I'm not blaming any of my health issues on it, but I know too many. I've seen too much to not believe it.
100%.
Okay, and this was intentional to drive down the world population. I don't know what their real excuse would be. And if you want a tinfoil hat, this is where maybe I'm wearing it. But I think that this here proves a lot of what we've known from the beginning was not conspiracy.
They were game playing this out a year before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you watch, and I'll put it on my social media, there is video of these guys at the I don't know where the George Soros thing that they do in Davos.
Mm-hmm.
They were game playing this exact scenario out a year prior to this happening, to the whole coronavirus.
Why is Fauci on video saying that President Trump was going to see an event like that in his 4-year term?
Yep. That worries me. It's why I'm out in the country,
that's
man.
Not planned.
Yep.
Another reason that you and I and people like us do not trust our government, and more the bureaucrats and the lobbyists, and they're all included in this. Why don't we trust a Nancy Pelosi any more than a Fauci or a Schumer or however many a John Thune out of South Dakota?
I was just about to say that.
I don't trust these politicians. It does take us back to deep conversations about term limits and things like that. And these people have been in power too long, and they are evil, evil, evil.
I think that and I know I'm going to get some guff for this, but I think Rand Paul has the right mindset on this, because we all know that this happened. That he got the pardon going back, I think, 19 years. Like, it's absolutely insane. But you see, in my little GIF here, you see that? That's the auto pen signing that. Biden is like, just, he's out of it.
Yeah.
But this is Rand Paul. He says Biden's pardon of Fauci is unconstitutionally. Hang on, I can't read that for some reason, because Bob's beard is covering it up. So here, let me move that away. No, you're.
Yeah,
anyway, you can't.
You put me in the wrong spot, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna customize it here.
Cover up Fauci's face at best.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's move it here. Nope, down here.
There you go.
There we go. So Biden's pardon of Fauci is unconstitutionally vague. Covers 10 years of potential crime and was signed by an auto pen without Biden's direct authorization. You cannot pardon someone for crimes never specified. This should be challenged in court. And again, I agree with this dude. Like, to me, and this is one of the problems I have with Republicans. Like, Democrats go in there, they'll break the law. They don't care. Like, with the millions and millions of illegals that they just allowed, they're breaking the law. In Minneapolis right now, at any given time, you can go on your Twitter feed and you can see Democrats doing things that I thought were illegal, like assaulting police officers openly. Like, with no qualms. ICE officers with no qualms. They're standing in front of the ICE detention facility and they're trying to break in by opening the doors with force. Yeah, like, there's videos of them out there, and it looks to me like we're using kid gloves on the. Yeah, they got the bear spray out there, but like in my mind, these things are illegal, yet they happen. Yet we don't see people going to jail. That's one of the problems that I have.
It's unbelievable. It's not only illegal, it's golden rule twisted. I mean, no respect for law enforcement, no respect for authority at all. Okay, no respect for right and wrong, and these things are being allowed, and it's encouraged by Democrats. And paid for by Democrats.
Yep.
I mean, I don't, I'm going to say it again. I back the badge. I don't back the blue. A lot of bad cops out there, right? There's a lot of good cops. Some of them fall asleep in their car. Some of them get drunk and drive around Bismarck.
Yep.
But it happens, right? But I still, I respect most laws. I respect our Constitution. Even if it's or if it's legal, doesn't always make it right, but I'm following probably 99% of the laws in this country. And I don't like to admit that, but I would never do something like that, even if the shoe's on the other foot. So you put it to us conservatives, we're not going to riot. Well, if we riot, it's a whole different situation, right?
Yeah.
It's so confusing as to how we have dropped this low in this country and allowed it, and we are not innocent no matter what, but I'm not allowing it. I've tried, you've tried, we're working hard to change things in our own ways and have been, and we're beating our heads up against a brick wall.
Yep.
We're not putting up with it, but yet we can only do so much in our environment. You and I are going to go help anybody that's getting attacked by Antifa or any of these rioters, things like that. But we're smart enough to stay out of it. Yep. And I think that's the thing, is the good people are avoiding it as much as possible. It's not happening directly to them. And until it does, then things won't change.
I want to see next week I want to see just wall-to-wall media of Republican congressmen and senators and pundits all over this thing. I want Fauci to sweat. I want to see from the Wayback Machine all of these reporters that had him on as the Saint Fauci of CC. Basically, what he said, whatever he says, was the gospel truth. I want to see this guy drug through the media. I don't care how old he is. I don't care if he has ailments. No, Senator Rand Paul and Ron Johnson are pressing Trump to challenge Joe Biden's 2024 pardon of this dude and pursue criminal charges. I don't think we understand, like, the breadth and scope of what this dude did. He funded this illegal research. What they're saying lab leak, I'm saying lab release. But either way it goes, he got the entire world sick. Like, this is a sci-fi movie stuff right here. This is like Axe says, the Joseph Mengele of our time. Let's not forget that this is the dude that cut the vocal cords of beagles so he could experiment on them with flesh-eating parasites, but you wouldn't have to hear them like do what beagles do and yell and scream.
His job after that,
like, and then the AIDS thing. Like, how is this dude not in chains, dude? Like, again, Rand Paul. He says that the pardon is legally vulnerable because it's vague, it's not tied to a specific crime, it covers a 10-year period, it resembles Hunter Biden's pardon, and something else that I'm pissed off at Republicans about. Why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about all of the things, dude? And the only thing that we get in the media is them trying to divide us. Oh, it's Juneteenth. The white people aren't going to be celebrating. You know, they're all of this stuff that they're throwing against the wall just to keep us. No, stuff happened. And if I wasn't a Christian and my wife wasn't within earshot, I'd say another word. But stuff happened. Very bad stuff happened. And I don't see people going to jail. Like, this dude, there is a paper trail 100 miles long implicating this dude in not just one crime, but a rap sheet of crimes. He needs to go to jail. And I am going to craft, as a matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to craft a letter to Kramer, to Hoban, to Fedorchak, to as many Republican elites as I can. And I'm going to email it off. I want this dude investigated 5 ways from Sunday. I want him to stand actual trial, not these dog and pony show that they normally do. I want actual criminal charges on this guy.
Doesn't this take him to The Hague for absolute world trial? Okay.
I'll drive him out there. I'm not guaranteed safe transit, though.
it's I don't know, my volume's kicking weird here. Just a second. Are you getting any feedback again?
You sound fine to me.
Clearly. I don't know what the word is. I want to say genocide, right? But he is guilty of murder, attempted genocide of people altogether, not just a race or a religion or whatever it is, a nationality. But this is not just some being handcuffs type crime, guys.
No.
This is a punishable by a lot more serious than that. And, you know, I think back to the elderly that died alone in a nursing home. I think back to all of the one of my friends was killed because of medical not allowing alternative in the hospital, this, that, and the other thing. This is absolute murder, attempted manslaughter times millions and millions across the world.
Dude, I think about my son.
that the rest of us could breathe, and he might as well not be.
Yep. I think about my mom's last days on this planet, and I think about the blood clots. I think about the weird turbo cancer that she contracted. I think about my son, who is legally blind now because of blood clot, because he took that damn shot because he wanted to work. He spent all this time, all this money to be an RN, and he finally gets to the place that and they basically force him to take it. And then, and you guys probably don't know anything about that because I haven't been public about it. But like, I've had members of my family. I mean, I would never put that garbage in me. I was at UPS. I was their network engineer for the entire region. And so when they had that little mandate, I just told them no. And if you don't like it, I'll pack up my little box. I'll walk right out the door. They didn't bother me again. But a lot of people could not do that. Not to mention, again, the videos that I've seen of people with their parents and nursing. One of the reasons why my dad is in that room over there bugging the heck out of me every single day, and I love that dude, so don't take that the wrong way, but I don't trust him. I want him home. Another COVID thing happens, something I want to, it's my responsibility to protect my dad because he protected me to get me where I am. I'm not entrusting him to those idiots. And the amount of people that had to look at their loved ones through glass and all of that ridiculousness and watch them like exit this world without being able to comfort them and hug them. And this dude, I'm going to stop before I say something that I can't take back. But
I don't know what you want to take back. I usually say all of that. And this is one of those nights you're supposed to have Nick go get a manicure or something because you got Bob Wheeler on, and Bob Wheeler doesn't have a filter. But
we got to get you over here, man.
Quite frankly, the son of a bitch needs the gallows like you got there on the screen, and ropes can be reused. So I'll buy him a brand new rope to make him first. And I don't care if anybody likes that or don't like that or Bob's crazy. No, I'm not. The son of a bitch perpetrated the biggest crime against the world ever. I lost an aunt and a cousin. This has never been said publicly ever. I truly believe they're in the same family. They died 6 months apart. My aunt was 1,000,000% healthy, slender, in shape, never felt sick a day in her life. All of a sudden, she's got a major heart problem. My cousin had lived a pretty rough life. She had not always been a good girl. Okay, but she was doing really well. All of a sudden, she's gone after vaccines. And God help me, my family hears that I said this publicly. They'll just have to forgive me. Got an uncle, I just had the conversation with him yesterday. Lower income, has National Guard for 24 years. Carpenter, construction, never made a lot of money. He worked for a set of apartments. They forced him as a maintenance man to get that shot. I'm waiting to hear it every day that he's sicker, that something else is wrong. This was mass genocide, for lack of a better term. And anyone involved in that, no matter whether it's Biden and Fauci and anybody, quite honestly, anybody that supported this and pushed this, I'm talking CEOs, all of them are just as guilty as Fauci. In my mind, you can't. Well, if I can figure out that it's bad, a CEO can, so they're guilty.
And see, Gordy, I have a problem even talking about it because.
Do we want to go to Great Britain and the children?
Yeah, let's do that. Gordy, I feel you, man.
Worse, but
same thing. It happened. Same thing. Like. Anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention in case they decided to memory hole this thing, which they are want to do. Tulsi did her job. And now Rand Paul and Ron Johnson, they're pressing Trump to do something about this. And I'll before we go to commercial, I'll say this. I don't know if you guys remember Diamond and Silk. And huge Trump supporters. I don't remember which one. I think it was Diamond. She died, blood clot.
She passed away.
Yeah, and Silk was pissed at Trump because of the whole COVID thing. She was pissed. Now she was reserved, and she still has her show and all of that. But I remember, like, this was not a small thing. This affected pretty much everybody on the planet. We have died suddenly that you don't hear about. Young men and women that are healthy, that were forced to take this thing, athletes. They're on the field, they're running, and all of a sudden, boom, they're dead. The highest rates of turbo cancer, like, it wasn't even a thing. And now it is. And we're not talking about that? How are we not talking about that? How are we not talking about all-cause mortality shooting up 1,000%? How are we not? How is this dude not in jail?
Planned. It's the one thing that I'm very, very, very upset with President Trump for. He got so excited about a vaccine, and whether he just had bad information or I don't know. I will hold that against him forever.
Yeah,
the way he handled COVID.
But I think that they played him, man.
I think
that they knew, they saw his vanity as a gift to them.
Yep.
The fact that, we're going to have this vaccine rolled out in like record time. They already, dude, they were working on that thing before. Like,
Trump got played as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But now he has a chance, a really good chance, because somebody he put into position truth bombed us last night. And he needs to be listening to Rand Paul. They need to be, and as much as Rand Paul, I've disagreed with the man on some things, Israel, things like that. Rand Paul is right on the money on this, 100%.
100%.
He's got my backing, 100%. Let's get to the bottom of this and get it over with.
All right, guys. Leon Francis, Big Dog Bob Wheeler, Guns in the 701. This is BlackBeardLogic. We're going to come back right after this break, and It is Friday. I want to keep it light, but this is going to boil your blood. I'm telling you.
We wanted to keep it light, but we've had horrible topics because the world just hit us with them.
Yep. So after this show, go crack a cold one, go grab a fishing pole, do all of the things.
You might need a drink during the last segment.
You're going to need a drink. But we'll be back right after this break.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro-Second Amendment, America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro-Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro-Second Amendment, pro-North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just one block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon. Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
Welcome back, Leon Francis. Guns in the 701. This is BlackBeardLogic, and I have my guest here, Bob Wheeler, and we're just kind of hanging out. I always like to have someone else, just to kind of, bounce conversation. It's much better. Like, I just think it's great, and so whenever I can have Bob on, it's great. So
we're a bit of an echo chamber, but it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm honored anytime you ask me. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Now, we're about to get into something dark. So, I'm going to set this up. So, this week, we were introduced to a 219-page independent rape gang inquiry report that was released by MP Robert Lowe. He's with Restore Britain. And that was June 16, 2026. It was crowdfunded by public donations. It estimates that at least 250,000, mainly white British girls, have been victimized across 149 local authority districts. That's 40% of the UK. And it has survivor testimony and court records, past inquiries, whistleblowers, and expert input. And it is brutal. Girls were set on fire. Girls were sent to red rooms to be tortured, and some killed. Live stream. One girl, and there's no nice way to say this, but was raped by a dog while men bet on whether it would do that vaginally or anally. They were forced to have abortion with knitting needles, glass bottles, keys, baseball bats, and other objects were... I'm not even going to finish that one. And these are white children, white British kids. And the thing that struck me about this is these guys knew what they were doing, and they had help. This is an Oliver Twist type thing. These people preyed on vulnerable kids in orphanages and what we would consider foster homes. The police looked the other way. All of the people that were in power that are supposed to be there, like to intercede on these girls' behalf. Like this book right here. This book right here. This book says is like here. I'm going to remove the chat so you can see it. So that book right there, The Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates. What this book details is the level why government is so important, because you're supposed to have people that intercede on your behalf when things are going wrong, when there are injustices that need to be corrected, to keep tyranny from trickling all the way down and just hitting the citizen full force. You're supposed to have levels of intercedence there. These girls had no one. People think of them like, and again, you read, I couldn't even get through the whole thing because some of these girls are begging and pleading for help, like it's on record. And because they were of the unwanted class, they were called prostitutes, troubled kids. It's bad. I'm just going to say that. And these are predominantly Pakistani Muslim men. From 87 to 95% of the convicted group-based child sexual exploitation perpetrators were Pakistani Muslim men. Girls as young as 11. 11. They were taken from schools, care homes, and streets and taxis and taken to houses, hotels, restaurants for repeated brutality. I'm just going to, they were trafficked across other countries. They were filmed. It's unbelievable. And the people that were speaking out about it, they were put in jail. I saw a video of a father who knew where his child abuser was. And to back up, she's in a foster home. And he goes there because his daughter has told him some of the crap that's going on. And he bangs on the door. He knows she's in there. They call the police arrest him. He's telling them, hey, they're doing X, Y, and Z in there. They told him if he goes back, that he'll be rearrested. So he gets out, and like any good father, and again, this is a British guy. Like if it were me, I wouldn't have knocked. Like it just, but he goes back there. They arrest him again. It's absolutely insane to me. Here is Robert Lowe. This is about a minute long.
This report is over 200 pages long, and it goes into the root causes of probably the most extensive, widespread scandal that has ever beset Britain. It goes to every corner of the country. It's not in silos, it's everywhere. And it involves failure by the British establishment. And by the British establishment, I mean, obviously, government ministers, the civil service, local government, social services, the police, the judiciary, the NHS, and the media, who is supposed to be the guardian for the British people of scandals like this, but they've singularly failed. I want to let people know that this is not the end of it. We will be pursuing those people who have failed us. There will be private prosecution.
And Bob, I want to get your take, but I don't want to get it before we listen to Matt Walsh. And Matt, like he's pissed off, and I have become a big fan of his because I got so much traffic in my social media corridors that were calling him a racist and a bigot, and so I'm like, so maybe I should take a look. You know, I'm that weird guy. But
just
I
so
want
you know, I'm not having any interaction with your video and your audio. None of that is playing for me. As long as everybody else can, keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to mess with things this late in the show. but so I won't be able to hear or see what Matt is saying.
Oh, okay. I will. So when we on the other side of this video, now all of a sudden, Pizzagate isn't a conspiracy theory. You're right, Axe. So on the other side of this video, I'll give you just the rundown. And
Perfect.
Here we go.
Because I don't think any mainstream media organization will do so. But as a fair warning, this is some of the most graphic and disturbing content you will ever hear. And whatever you may have heard about the horrors of Muslim rape gangs in the UK, well, the reality is infinitely worse. Now, this map shows where the rape gangs were operating. It's all over the country. The inquiry found that the capital, London, was the epicenter of the savagery, and not coincidentally, also home to the largest Muslim population in all of Britain. And although the city's Muslim mayor, Sadiq Khan, had direct access to police documents detailing exactly these patterns of offending, in public, Khan denied that the grooming gangs were a significant problem. In fact, he said the grooming gangs did not exist, despite, quote, the Metropolitan Police holding reports of young girls being plied with alcohol and drugs, then raped by groups of men in hotels and other locations across the capital. Now, the report goes into specific examples of specific victims, and this is where you get, and remember when we go through this, that we're talking about 250,000 or more victims. So all of these stories multiply by 250,000 or more. I suspect it's actually significantly more than that, but these are the kinds of things that are, of course, hard to track. And as we'll see, the British government had no interest in tracking it. One female victim who testified at the inquiry used the name Chloe. Her father died when she was young, and she was taken in by her mother, along with her mother's new husband, who abused her. She skipped school and spent most of her time hanging around the town center with friends. She told the inquiry about groups of Muslim men, primarily Pakistanis, aged 20 to over 50, showing them attention, including wolf whistling and buying them alcohol. Many were taxi drivers who would take the girls into their cars and drive them around town. Now, initially, the Pakistanis didn't try to assault these women. They were grooming them. But before long, they began physically touching the girls, including kisses and massages. Several Muslim men took Chloe and her friend to a hotel room where they attempted to rape them. And the abuse only continued from that point forward. The description of what she endured is extremely graphic, highly disturbing. I'm going to read as much as we can. I don't know if some of it's going to get bleeped, but we have to read it because you need to know the plain reality of the situation. So, quote, there were times when Chloe would be missing for up to 3 days, during which time she was passed between taxis, drugged, abused, and raped. In every case, the perpetrators were Muslims and primarily Pakistani. On one occasion, Chloe was abducted by an abuser who was driving.
So I'm going to stop it there because I don't know if Facebook is going to allow me to. And again, the reason it is so important, here I'm going to move this down so, Bob, you can see it. The reason this is so important, so you can, if you can read that in the yellow. The reason this is so important to bring to your attention is because it should shock your senses. This girl, she's Chloe. I think she was like 14 years old. And this is 12 years old. You see what happened with the whiskey bottle there? You see that she went to the emergency room and they removed the glass from a 12-year-old, from inside of a 12-year-old girl. And you see where it was. And no one called the cops. In Britain, guaranteed you have a medical record. They know who this girl is. They know she's from an orphanage and all of it. They removed the glass and discharged her. Like, and I wouldn't recommend reading it But this is insane. Like, there is nothing on this scale in my lifetime, not even the Epstein thing, comes close to this. And I have that, like, I look at this country and I see, and I'm sorry, some of you guys are going to get pissed off. And I talk about my own culture all the time. So if you think I'm just being like a dick to white guys, I'm not. But I don't understand how the same dudes, and I'm talking about America, see this going on, and we're still like, all right, let's import more. What are these white guys over here doing? These are their daughters that this is happening to. And the ones that I am able to see that are getting pissed off, they're the ones that are in trouble with the British government, not these Muslims. Like, they treat these guys with kid gloves. And I don't understand the mindset. I don't understand the mindset that would allow this to happen. Like, we have a Dearborn here. They changed the damn Minnesota flag to a Somalian. How does that happen? Bob, help me out here.
Well, I had to change areas here, folks, so bear with me a little bit. My phone's wanting to die. We're gonna next time, Leon, we will be on computer. We'll figure that out. Okay, I'm trying to keep my temper down. I'm trying to keep my choose my words. I'm not going to do a very good job at that, and you know me well enough.
Yep.
I will put it to you like this. I may not look great in orange, and I will probably look a lot like a pumpkin when I wear orange. But if that is perpetrated on anyone close to me, and that means related by blood or not, it will never happen again if I have the opportunity to stop it. So first of all, I'm going to blame parents in a lot of ways, okay? Because on those that have it. Now, I realize we're talking about orphans, and we're talking about those in foster homes, things like
these
that.
Are
right?
troubled kids. These are orphan kids. These are
they're everybody's.
And I believe that the British establishment see them as throwaway kids. That's what I believe.
But okay, here's going to be my point for we're getting these horror stories, this horrible story out of a country that is what size is England, UK. Okay, it's not very big compared to the United States of America. Human trafficking, all of this is happening right under our noses in the United States of America, and I will guarantee you the horrors are the same as what they just came out with in the UK. All right. What's the movie Taken? I guarantee you that I have a certain set of skills. Okay. Short, fat, and out of shape doesn't make a difference. You perpetrate this on, if I know about it and I know it's legit, this person is doing it, I'm going to do the same things that you can imagine that I'm going to do to these individuals if I caught them doing this. And that's those. If you're a parent of a child that this has happened to, shame on you. You are just as guilty as they are for allowing it. Now, the government, the officials, all of this crap, these people that are allowing it, they are guilty just as much as these Pakistani dudes are. This is evil. This is the devil. This is, and you know, like our friend Michael Koshman pointed out, there's no Second Amendment over there. But as much as that is an issue, it's not an issue because we have a Second Amendment here. All right. The Second Amendment, it just doesn't matter if I need a spoon, if I need a knife, if I need a fork, I need a stick, I need a string, whatever. Okay. This is what needs to start happening to these evil individuals perpetrating this against these children. This is absolute friggin' evil. And if you're not pissed off reading this, watching Matt Walsh, watching that Rob Lowe, hearing about this, knowing about this, then you better go to the doctor and check to see if you have a heartbeat. Go to a shrink, make sure you've got a brain.
Yep.
Because you're not human. If you're not affected by this mentally and emotionally right now, and if you're not willing to look good in orange to protect your own children,
oof.
I've got no time for you. I will tell you that right now. I got none, zero, zilch, zip. I'm not a father biologically. Okay. I've got 6 grandkids. I've got some nieces and nephews, grandkids by marriage. I love them more than I love the world. I love them more than I love my life itself. I promise you, I find out something like that happened to one of mine. I will do everything in my power to find out who did it, and they will no longer take up any space on this planet other than food for worms.
And see, and
I'm not talking. I don't care what the government says. I don't care what the freaking police say about it. I don't care what the lawyers and the judges, and I don't give a shit what they say about it. As a matter of fact, if you try to stop me from doing it in your law enforcement or otherwise, I wouldn't do that either. Because they're just as big part of the damn problem. This is evil. This is not right and wrong. This is freaking good versus evil.
And you see, like, there's a common thread here. Like in America, I think, like if something like this were to come, well, I'm not even sure. But over there, and I blew this up and I put it in this format because I want you guys to read it. I believe that if I read this out to you, they would take the page down. And I don't want to do that. So I want you to, this is one girl. Look at her age, 12. Look at what was done to her. And these men in Britain, they are unarmed. Like, I watched what happened when that father was standing there after these Sikhs stabbed his kid, murdered his kid. And when the cops got there, the guy is like, help me. They stabbed me. He's the one on the ground. He's the one with the bruises. They arrested him because the Sikhs, the foreigners, said he attacked us racially. Now, he didn't strike them. What he did was, this young kid was walking home, and he sees these guys. One of them has basically a scimitar hanging from his belt, and he knows that in England, like, that's illegal. And he's like, what's going on there? And the guy murdered him for it. The same thing with like the Austin Metcalf thing. There is a mindset of people that is incompatible with liberty. And then when you disarm the innocent people, you see what happens. Like, even in this country, you got people out here. Well, let's go back to Britain. So if none of the fathers, if none of the men who would stand up to these communities and fight for them, if none of them are armed, if they allow themselves to be disarmed, and then all of the bad people are armed, what do you think's going to happen? You just made your kids, your wife, any vulnerable among your society, you just made them victims. It's why we should fight tooth and nail, never give an inch on the Second Amendment. Like, that is a non-negotiable, non-starter for me.
If the government's got a jet, I should have 2 of them.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to tank on my. Well, I don't have to go there, but the fact of the matter is, I see this creeping here. I see it. I see, like, what's going on in Minnesota. Like,
I see files are minimal compared to what's going on in this country.
Yeah.
Minimal. And I'm just as mad as everybody else that we haven't done anything about the Epstein files and the names and what. Okay, that's still pissing me off to no end that there's no progress there. I got to believe there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but I don't know that for sure. But the Epstein files are nothing compared to what's going on across the United. And I'm going to say this too. North Dakota is knee deep to chest deep in this crap.
You said a mouthful. Holmberg was not alone.
No. Oh, lordy. There's just enough people that knew he was doing what he was doing. They should be in jail. No, none of them should be in jail. I'm sorry. You're done. We can go Bible. We can go brimstone on this.
Yep.
Tie a millstone around their neck and throw them in the ocean.
Old
All
Testament.
right?
Yep.
This is more than an eye for an eye. And I will sleep that night just like I always sleep. Naked, one leg out of the sheet with a fan on. And I will sleep better than I've ever slept.
100%. And you said a mouthful there. We know that these things are going on in this country. And if it's 250,000 by a conservative estimate in Britain, I mean, just sheer logic says that it is a massive scale here. Massive.
If the Pakistanis are doing this, Leon,
yeah.
What are the oh, do I say the other names out loud?
Hang on a sec. So in this report, they talk about, some of the girls talk about them being sold to, like taken to houses for Somalians. And the Somalian men wanted the girls fat. So they would notice that, like, these girls would they'd have more caloric intake and like the leading up to them being taken over there because they like them. Yeah, dude. And if you don't think that's happening, that's not happening right here. If you don't believe that, like, these cultures are not ours, and it's not bigoted to say that. They are they do not see women as valuable. They do not see them the same way that we do. And they have no concept of the Imago Dei. None. It's not even in their dialect. It's not in their worldview. They don't understand that that's a child of God. They see them as disposable. And it doesn't matter where they are. In their own country, in another country, they're infiltrating or invading. Their worldview doesn't change. It's us. They're trying to change our worldview. It's called suicidal empathy. And it's run by white liberal females and beta boys. And then we got people like me and you and Axe and just tons of red-blooded, piss and vinegar, testosterone fueled dudes that would stand up and do something about this. But then the elites, all of those, the people with power are all these limp-wristed beta boys and white feminists. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off.
I'm going to bring this up, all right? Back when there was all this problem, and where some of us conservatives were doing a lot of infighting because of the worry of saying that, just saying that, say, Israel, the Jews, Netanyahu was our enemy, and they were part of the big problem. They've got all these politicians bought and paid for. And I said it publicly many times, but so many people didn't hear it, didn't find it, didn't see it. So they attacked me a lot, and that's fine. All right. But my point was, I don't care about that right now. My view is the largest enemy this country has right here and now is Muslims and Islam. And these immigrants, I guess you got to call them, whatever they are, destroying our way of life. And it doesn't just happen to be in this constitutional republic. It's happening in the UK. It is an attempt to take over the world that has been going on since what? The 1200s. What was Vlad, the Impaler? Okay, going back to that. That dude was actually pretty cool dude, sticking heads on pikes. It was the Muslims he was fighting that was that were invading. All right, that were doing the same bullshit that they're doing today. Dracula was Dracula, the whole thing because of Muslims. And I hope this doesn't affect you on your end with Facebook and whatever else, but that's the truth.
It is the truth.
And the powers that be that are sweeping this crap under the rug, the child mutilation, the rape, the trafficking, the way, I mean, good God, we got to mention the reservations in this country because that's one of the prime areas that they're taking children from. We need to do something to stop this shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to get involved. I don't know how those red-blooded Americans we're talking about, the guns in the 701, the people that are listening and paying attention right now, I don't know how to get us to do what we've got to do using our rights to stop this shit. Somebody's got a really good idea? Let me know, please.
I'm gonna end the show on this. I've been very vocal about data centers and AI and things like that. Been very vocal about it. But I want to. Did you hear what Bob said there at the end? Like I think that it's way past time for us to kind of gameplay this thing out, organize this and that. But I want you guys to understand that it is difficult now to organize folks to do that and not get caught. When we get the data centers everywhere and then the AI is where they want it to be, that will be an impossibility. There will be no revolution. There will be no standing up to tyranny. They will know where it's happening, who's involved. They'll know all of that. And if you don't understand that, you're ignorant. Like it's you'll have some cool apps. Your car will be able to drive you places and you won't have to touch the steering wheel. You can just say out loud, whatever name you gave your AI and it'll do stuff for you. It'll be cool. It'll be like Star Trek, Stargate. It'll be that. It'll be convenient. But it will be the freest prison you'll ever see, and there will be nothing you can do about it. And we need to put safeguards and stopgaps in place before that happens. This child trafficking stuff, it gets me, man. It because you got and any type of trafficking is bad, and I get that. But when it happens to a kid, ooh, I don't care if it's a troubled kid. I don't care if that kid doesn't look like me. I don't care if the kid doesn't like me because I'm black. Like whatever reason, I don't. It's a kid.
No child
and
deserves
the people that are doing this should not be breathing free air. I'll say that they're animals. They are demonic. You cannot do this kind of thing to chill. And something else that just stands out to me is you read the report, you see how little time, the very few people that they prosecuted, the very, very few people. And it was, even in that demographic, it was 95% Muslim. But the very few people that they prosecuted didn't get years. They got months. Most of them got sternly worded letters.
Look at what they're getting in North Dakota. Slaps on the wrist, brother. For me, guys and gals, it's not a matter of getting my name on a list. I know I'm on a list. It's a matter of how many lists and what priority I'm on those lists. Because I say what I want and what I think, and I don't care at all. And like you said, AI comes to town, data centers. Dude, I know that I'm not going to be able to move or breathe without something watching me. And I don't friggin' care at this point.
Elon had a video.
Just remember this, Leon. I am not now, nor ever have been, nor ever will be suicidal.
Me neither. And on that note, Elon Musk had a video a couple days ago showing how hard it is to take out a drone. I did not eat. The drone technology now, and if it's flying by AI, just forget about it. Forget about it. He was showing you how difficult with a shotgun, with other armaments, how difficult it is to actually shoot one of those things out of the sky. And then have them AI powered. Guys, this is a fight we have not thought through. And all of the politicians that are pushing hard for data centers, they need to feel some pushback, significant pushback. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to sign off because we're almost 3 hours into this thing, and Clay is going to murder my face when he sees me again. But I want to say, this is Leon Francis. This is BlackBeardLogic. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Keep your powder dry, as Clay says, but get out there, practice your Second Amendment, because one day we might need it. God bless. Good night.